Hello everyone, Lord Bling here. Wanted to give you my thoughts on Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Got a copy here recently and I'm really liking it a lot. More than I'd expected, to be honest. I played the first two games a good amount when they first came out, but it's been 4 or 5 years, I guess. And they've done a really good job with this game. Little issues here and there, which I'll point out in a minute. I'll show them to you, but otherwise it's a much better game than I anticipated, and I'm glad to see it's been selling well as to boot, because it's been a very good game. First, showing a little bit of the campaign. Lots of gadgets. They give you some story for the characters, but it's all pretty perfunctory. Ultimately, you have to go here and kill people. You're used to it, right? You've played military shooters. The campaign's not bad. It's playable, and it's serviceable, I guess is the right word, but it does the job nicely, and you can play it in co-op, which I think is pretty cool. So, but lots of gadgets. I'm not too far in the campaign. I think what you're seeing here is the 3rd level, and I'm probably somewhere in the 4th or 5th level, give or take. So I haven't seen everything there is to see yet in the campaign, but there already are a pretty good amount of gadgets and things you can use, like the UAV camera here to spot people. There's also, as you saw in the very beginning of this campaign section, it's like a magnetic camera that you have. Definitely taking the Future Soldier aspect and ratcheting it up more than the last two, the Advanced Warfighter series, which I thought were decent games. This one, graphically, I can't say it's as advanced as those last two Ghost Recon games were at the time, but it's not bad. And there are times when it looks very good, but then there are some other times where there are some hiccups in textures and things. So, or when people spawn in multiplayer, you'll see a little later how they spawn in as a kind of a weird model and at weird places. But overall, I'm much more impressed with the game than I expected, like I said. But the campaign is what it is, right? What do you care about? You care about multiplayer. There's 3 character classes, and they're all very different. What you're seeing right now is Rifleman, which is pretty much your standard heavy machine guns, frag grenades, mid-range type of fighting. Not a lot in terms of tech. You do start out with a thermal type sensor that you can put down on the ground, which works like the thermal grenades that engineers have, which you'll see here in a minute. But basically it's heavy on keeping people pinned down in cover and throwing grenades as much as you can. Don't ever die with a grenade on your belt. Throw them. Especially if you're not playing hardcore, because there's no point in dying with a grenade. They do a lot of damage in this game. But fortunately everyone only has one, so it's not too bad about grenade spam. The kill cam's handy at times as well, especially when you're playing as a sniper or recon, which is what you're seeing now. Optical camouflage is probably my favorite part of this so far. As long as you stay not moving, it turns on after a couple of seconds. So if you fire your weapon, or if you stand up or move around, I guess, it turns off. There is a perk later on in the game that you can unlock as you progress through the multiplayer experience points and things like that, to unlock the ability to crouch walk and have it still turned on, the camouflage, which you have that already as default in the campaign, but they make you work for it in the multiplayer, which isn't a bad thing. You know, there's the map design. I do want to point out real quick. The layout is much more like something like Call of Duty. They're smaller, more intimate maps, but they do a better job with the variety in terms of mixing it up with people. Some areas are open, some areas are a little more close quarters, so it's a good mix of both. But the character classes, like I said, they play very differently, much more like a Battlefield type game. My favorite right now is the Engineer, which you're seeing here. Much more of a short range type class. There are shotguns you can use and SMGs, but the gadgets that they have are a lot of fun to play with. One of them you'll see here in a second. Here I get a melee kill. My favorite here is the sensor grenade, which you'll see a couple of examples of. It's very much like the sensor grenades in Battlefield Bad Company 2, which I miss those in Battlefield 3, to be honest. We called them Pokeballs. Instead of lighting up on the HUD, it lights them up in your vision, so you can actually see their outline and how they move. It changes up the gameplay a little bit, and it tells you if you're detected as well. If someone either throws one of those or puts down a motion sensor in that area, it tells you if you're detected. But there's also other things you can do, and any class can do this, what you're seeing right now, which is hacking. If you use a stun gun or a stun claymore, so you drop someone but you don't kill them, you can hack into their tech and bring up basically like a UAV where everybody is lit up on everywhere. So you can see that guy through the wall right there. Everyone on the map is lit up for a certain amount of time. So some of the tech in this is a nice twist on things we've seen before, and it definitely makes you want to work to play harder. There you just saw one of... So let's get to the negatives. There's some issues with spawns, as you see right there. If you spawn on another person, you're going to have a bad time in a lot of cases. Also, some of the secondary weapons are a little overpowered. This is the MP7, hardly any recoil at all. The PP19 apparently is like that too. I don't have it unlocked yet, but I died to it a lot. Just not a lot of recoil. So at close ranges, they're very powerful weapons to use. So you see some people abusing it, but it's not enough to kill the overall mood of the game. It's still a lot of fun. There's a lot of customization in the characters. Not so much in the physical attributes, but in the weapons themselves. If you're any bit of a gun nut at all, you're going to love this game. As someone who owns a couple of rifles and has done some mods to them, I can tell you this is as in-depth of any shooter I've ever played, at least on consoles for sure, in giving you the option to change out your trigger, your gas block, everything is customizable basically on this. So I think that's great. You know, if you like military shooters, you obviously like weapons, you like to fire them, or you like to at least pretend you're firing them in games, you can change out not just the sights, but all sorts of stuff. The magazines, camouflage, which doesn't do a whole lot for you, but just a lot of customization. I think it's great. I wish more military shooters were like that. So overall, though, I think it's a really good game so far. I need to put some more time into the campaign, but I've put a good amount of time into the multiplayer. I'm actually thinking of buying the Arctic Strike DLC, which is $10. I don't typically jump on DLC, but I think this is a game I'll probably put some time into here when I'm not playing Battlefield, because there is enough of a variety, and it is a little bit of the good things of Call of Duty, but still the good things from Battlefield as well. So it's a good mix between the two. I just need more people playing it. So if you're online playing this game, hopefully you track me down. I'm Lord Bling on Xbox, and maybe I'll see you online.